Hello, my creative friends. My name is Heather North. You can find me on Instagram at Heather's Creative Blessings. This is Flosstube number 8. At least I think that's what it is. If I look a little windblown, I am. It has been a week. I know it's been a week for everyone and for lots of different reasons. But personally, I live in the Pacific Northwest. I live just south of Olympia, Washington. And we have had the wettest January on record this year, 2021. It's today is January, I think it's 13th, 2021. Happy birthday, Sonia. Shout out to my childhood friend. Yeah, we have just had the wettest January on record, and it's nonstop rain. And last night, a strong storm came in, dropped, I've heard 7 to 8 inches. I don't know exactly for our area, but I know that the local rivers and creeks were already at flood stage and they've definitely flooded over. Thankfully, we're on a little bit of a high spot, even just like in the cul-de-sac we're in, we're just up a little bit higher than the road. So it would take a lot for our actual property to flood. But there was a huge windstorm on top of that, and it was so loud. Like my dog, I've got a little Shih Tzu who might come make, I was looking to see if she was there, who might come and make an appearance. She was terrified. She went to the groomer this week, and so she's lost all of her fur and she's shaking. So I brought her into the bed. And then at 2:30 in the morning, she had to go out. She had to go to the bathroom. And that's when I noticed that at least 2 portions of our fence had blown down by this morning. 3 portions of our fence completely down. A few limbs, but not too bad. But the winds, my husband said he heard a report that it was 75 miles per hour. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was pretty nasty. Now on to stitching. This is Flosstube number 8, and I'm sorry, I'm 3 minutes in. Maybe I shouldn't have said all that. This week, stitching. Let's just dive right in. I've got some shout outs this week. I've got some happy mail. My video last week, it took me 3 days to get it loaded. And I just totally scratched the Happy Mail haul video. I was going to show you the winter solstice box from Bestitch Me. I'm sure you've seen everybody else's by now. It was just a hot mess I'm sure you don't want to hear about, but I did Flosstube for several years, but I took a couple of years off and things have changed. So if you are interested in seeing those fabrics and you haven't, leave a comment down below and I'll share them in my next video if I can. I did get the silks as well. They're beautiful. It's very wintry, frozen feeling. So this week, Liz Mathews from Liz Mathews celebrated her 1-year anniversary. I found her through Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching. They are huge enablers, I just have to say, because I see this stuff and they each have different styles. And with Steph working at Keepsakes, I believe, she gets all the new things in. I am just constantly enabled. It's one of my favorite things. I love seeing the different things that pique my interest. And some I'll get and some I won't. So anyway, she introduced me to Liz Mathews, or Hello from Liz Mathews, and I got the Quaker Snowflakes, I think is what it was called. That was my Christmas, one of my Christmas starts. Love it, love it, love it. But I went over and found her on Instagram and been following her there and signed up for her newsletter. She gave a freebie away at Christmas time that was really cute. I haven't stitched it yet, but I have it. She made a tag out of it. Very, very, very cute. So if you haven't already, get on her newsletter list because she does send out freebies. She lets you know what's going on. And it was her 1-year anniversary, I believe, of starting her business. And so and jumping out on her own. And I was able to watch her, at least part of her Instagram live before something happened with the dogs and I had to cut out. But it was just a bright spot in kind of an interesting week, let's just say. And one of the things she gave us in her newsletter, and she mentioned it in her Instagram live, was a free pattern. It's called Hope Celebration Small. And I picked it up. This is what it looks like. And last Wednesday was kind of a trying day. My word for the year is hope. I definitely plan on stitching this. I plan on stitching it in pink on a mint or aqua or sea glass type of a color. And we'll get to that in happy mail. But I had just ordered some packages from Fat Quarter Shop. And so I wanted to get those in and decide which one to do for that. This piece, but she also included a smaller piece which just has hope, and it has like one of these flowers coming out the side. And so I decided to start that on Wednesday. And if you were watching last week, you saw me talk about the word of the year, and that it was hope. And my first start and my first finish in 2021 was this one right here. It's on Queen Anne's lace, 28 count, and the pattern is Daily Reminder Hope by the Trilogy. I believe that's the name of the company, not 100% sure. And I love the color so much, and I said I want to start it again. So I did start it in those colors on this cloth, and I plan on finishing it either I'm leaning towards like a bookmark and giving it to my mom. My mom's a big reader. She reads mostly on her Kindle though, so I'm going back and forth between a small finish or finishing on that, or just keeping it and doing a few of those hopes here and doing something different for my mom. But I'm going to go ahead and grab, you know what? I haven't even added it into my thing yet. But I can tell you the colors because they're the same here. I'll be using, I believe, Classic Colorworks Chesapeake Bay, Gentle Arts Cornflower, Gentle Arts Old Blue Paint, and Gentle Arts Shaker White. And here's what I have so far. I'm just working on the border, and the color, I have to say, is showing up really well today. I mentioned the rain and the wind. And then today it's sunny. At 2:30 when I took my dog out, I saw stars. I have not seen stars in so long, and they were so bright and so clear. So it's sunny, and my neighbor's kids are running. We have a shared driveway, and they're taking their bikes or something up and down. I just love it. I love the sound of the kids. I love that they're able to get out and play. When we were working on the fence, they were up on the trampoline, jumping in the backyard. It's just wonderful. Anyways, I want to show you this because this is what I do. This is what I figured out to do. And I probably heard somebody else do it. And I knew it was okay to do it that way, but to count and to keep track of the count is difficult for me. And so what I do when it's just a long border of the same thing is I go, the first set of stitches, let's say it's 27 stitches, okay? I will do the first 7 stitches, and then I'll do a half stitch to the 7th, and then I'll do an X. And then I'll do 10 stitches and I'll complete the X. And then I'll do 10 stitches and I'll complete the X down until I've got, you know, I guess that would be 2. I would only do 2 for 20. And then I go back the other way. And depending on the thread I use and how much variation, I might do one at a, the other way to do it, if you just wanted to do one at a time, would be to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, complete, and then a half for the 7th and come back and run your thread under your stitches to do it. But to me, I think that just having a little variation in the color is good enough for me. I'm not a purist about, and I wouldn't really know how to do the way that it's supposed to be done because I'm just winging it, you guys. So that's what I do to keep track. And this had, I think, like 80 something stitches. So the top's all done, and then going down, I just do it one at a time and keep counting, but then across. But you could do it the same way going down. Anyways, that is it. When I finish this and up, it'll be done. The border will be done, and then I can do the fun part in the middle. So I want to say thank you, Liz. Not that you'll be watching this, but thank you for sharing that, and thank you, Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching, for introducing me to Liz Mathews. Love her stuff, and she had a special code. I don't know how long that code lasts, so if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to her newsletter and she'll send it out to you. And you can see if the code is in there, if it's still active. But yeah, that's Hope Celebration Small. I think she plans on releasing one every month. I could be wrong though. And that was my first start of the week. The next one is just a whip. I'm going to have starts, finishes, and whips all mixed in together, just kind of based on what I was doing during the week. This leads close to my haul. This is Love, from the What's in My Cup series, from Stitching with the Housewives. And you know what happened last week? Everybody started posting love and Valentine's. And if you can't tell from my room, I love aqua and mint. I also like baby pink. And a lilac purple. Those colors together with some gray and some white. Oh, I'm in heaven. And Fat Quarter Shop and Stitching with the Housewives and others have started releasing a lot of pink and aqua. And I am just in heaven. I've been ordering so much. I ordered this from Priscilla and Chelsea's Etsy shop. Their Etsy shop is Stitching Housewives, so just Stitching Housewives as the downloadable pattern. And when it's a downloadable pattern, I try and get it directly from their Etsy shop. It gives them probably, I think, a little more money. If not, then I will get it from whatever shop I'm ordering from that has it, usually Fat Quarter Shop, let's be honest. And I think I showed this last week. I'm doing... but I can show you, I'm pretty sure I had started this last week when I did my video, but this is a little snippet of what I am stitching it on. 14 count Aida. This is the minty green opalescent that was in the Stitch Quarterly with the Santa, and I'm not stitching the Santa, so I used it for this, and I love this minty color. It does not show up as well in pictures. And I told you last week, I believe, that the white was, it had 12 grain, it wasn't really showing up. I tried to do, I think it was Snowball, and it wasn't showing up when I did the rose, when I did the little white flowers. So when I popped down to the roses here, I switched it to pink. And I think it's Little Pink Peony, and it's just stuff I had in stock. That's probably a little closer to the color. Up close, you can really see the sparkle. Now, I got to this point, and I realized my mistake. I don't know if you can see my mistake, if it's as glaringly obvious. Probably is as a stitcher. But this rose here is supposed to be centered under these flowers. And I started my stitch from this little green dot instead of this little green dot. So my middle flower started down here, which I suppose wouldn't be a huge deal if it wasn't the center of this. It's supposed to be the center here. And then I went from there down to here, and then from there over to here. And this one's wrong. This one's wrong, and this one's wrong. And I'm like, okay, I was already going to take the white out of here. Am I going to take this out? Am I going to leave it? Am I going to turn it into something else? And I put it out on my regular Facebook page and just asked my friends. And you know, the ones that aren't stitchers, it's beautiful, just leave it. Or can you just make the cup bigger? I'm like, hey, no, I'm not going to do that. One person had a suggestion, I thought it was a really good one, just adding some more sparkles or leaves or another rose in here and just finishing it as it is. And I think that that's what I'm going to end up doing. I might add one here and then extend this a little bit more and just leave it, turn it into a little small. Actually, I have an idea of how to finish this. So I might just do that. And my mom saw this, and my mom is one of those, she's the big picture person. So is my husband, big picture. I'm one of those detail persons. And so my mom said, I didn't even notice the mistake. And she said, send it to me, it's beautiful. And then she's like, I didn't even notice the mistake until just now. And she had been looking at the picture across her news feed and decided to actually read what I had written, I think. And she's like, yeah, send it to me. So I'm going to probably finish that and send it to her. But I restarted it because to me, there wasn't a lot of stitching time this week. And I spent so much of it, it felt like frogging things out, ripping them out. Yeah, I just decided to restart it while I decided what to do. And so I have restarted it, and here it is. Colors, the sun just went behind the clouds, so now we're getting all dark in here. It's just one big white fluffy cloud, so hopefully it'll get sunny again. But that's what I have so far on the love. And I love it. I love. I love the pattern. I got a little glimpse just before I came down here. I was looking up something on Etsy, another seller, and this, I could see in the little corner, they've come out with another one, looked like it was a tray. I'm not gonna have any money ever again. And you know what? I'm okay with that. So the next thing I talked about last week, doing WIPGO, WIPGO. It's kind of like bingo, but using WIPs, which are works in progress. And it was started by Jessie Marie Does Stuff or Jessie Marie Makes Stuff. I will link it down below. I have in my notes. I need to find out what her name is. She's on YouTube, but she also has a WIPGO, WIPGO 2021 Facebook group. You can go ahead and join that. Anybody can join it. They're welcome to join. And what it is you choose 24 to 25 projects that you have in your WIP pile, things that you want to work on in 2021. And then you set your own goals. So maybe it is to finish those things. Maybe it is to put an hour a week into those things. Maybe it is to just work on those projects in the month that it's called until they're finished and not work on anything else. Maybe, like if you were going to break down the what's in my cup, like I just did on this one, maybe the roses are a section, the cup is a section, and the truck is a section, and you can break it up that way. And so you have it into 3 parts, and you just want to get one of those done during the month that number is called. However you want to do it is just fine with her. And so after I did my WIP parade video, I looked through my WIPs and decided what I wanted to put on this board. And for me to put it on this board was something that I needed a little more oomph, a little more motivation to pull it out and to work on it. And so I chose, and I only had, I think I had 21 WIPs at the end of 2020. So for 2021, I only have 21 WIPs. So I'd have to do something anyways to split it up. And some of them I would obviously be working on in January anyways. Some of them I knew I would pull out in the fall. And I can't wait to get those done. And I want them on my wall this fall if I can. So I knew I didn't really need to put it in here to get motivated to do it. Some are on here, but will also be in my mania things that I'm doing in May. So that's kind of how I broke it up, and I just went through and numbered it all. Let me see if I did bring my book here. And I'm just sharing this in case you need some help and some motivation on how to do yours. It's my messy handwriting. I think most of it's even in pencil, but this is my 2021 WIPGO goals. And so you'll see, like, number 1, this is Peaceful Shores. And my goal is to do the sky and the words on that one. And then for Jeremiah 29:11, I shared that in the last one. My goal for the month that it's called is to do one word. And maybe I'll get it done before that. And I've got some ideas on if I get something done before it's called, which I may or may not get to. If I forget, let me know. But the other thing I did is I got down to the bottom, like some of it's a border or a house or I didn't know what to call it, but a motif. When I get to winter notes, I'll show you what I had thought I would do, and then I kind of changed it up. But the other thing, let's see, I have 1 hour every Wednesday in order to further that project along, because I think of Wednesdays as WIPs. So every Wednesday I'll be working on WIPs anyways. And then I got down to the bottom numbers, and I put, because I have several of these different designers, any Shannon Christine designs WIP. So not a new start, it has to be a WIP. I work on it for 4 hours that month, so an hour a week. Any country cottage needleworks, any little house needleworks. And next year it'll be probably White House Stitchery, because I'll talk about that in a minute too. The number, now if a number called is already finished, I will work on any WIP by the same designer or any WIP by a designer that I only have one of their designs, okay? I hope that's not too confusing. So for January 2021, the numbers called were 6, 13, and 18. Now 13 is a middle space. It could be a free space, but because it was called the first month, I decided, and I put in there for number 13, any WIP. So any WIP that I had, I could put into the free space. So it gave me a little more, I was still gonna work on a WIP, but it gave me a little more leeway. It was kind of a fun thing to do. Or for me, my plan was to put my WIP that was the closest to being finished so that I could get through a finish. Well, she called the free space in January. I guess that never happens, but of course it did. So number 6, number 13, and number 18. Number 6 is my Singing in the Rain. And I'm gonna look at so you can see again I should tag these. There it is. This is what I stitched on. I used sulky threads instead of the called for threads. And I'm even, I guess, switching around where I put them, because when I was working on it, wasn't quite sure what I was gonna do. And so my goal for Singing in the Rain, which of course the numbers don't match up to my WIPGO numbers, but that's okay. Singing in the Rain is number 6 on this. My goal was to complete 1 row. The top row was what I put in there. Now, if this number had not been called until later in the year, that would have been my goal for Stitch Mania. So I would have changed it to a different row. But my goal for this month, for January, is to get that top row done. My goal for Winter Notes was 1 hour every Wednesday. So to work on it for 5 hours in the month of January. And my goal for the free space, any WIP. So let's go back to Singing in the Rain and WIPGO weekend. So the other thing that Jessie Marie is doing in her Facebook group, the WIPGO 2021, is there's one weekend every month that's going to be a WIPGO weekend. And you're supposed to set goals for the numbers that were called, the projects of the numbers that were called, that you think you could complete in the weekend. And if you post your goals and your starting point and your finishing point, and if you've met it or not, you get entered into a prize, a $50 Etsy or other store gift card. So for Singing in the Rain for WIPGO weekend, which was last weekend, I decided my goal is to get the whole top row. So what I wanted to do was get one of the colors in the top row completely done. And I met that goal and then kept going. I actually thought, now in the chart, I'm going to say, let's see if I can justify myself. In the chart, this is a dark color and this is like a white, a very light baby pink. But I think that I had messed up and I put these two as the baby pink. So I was working on this, so I only had this one dark wine color to use here. And when I was done with the thread and that, I came down here and started the boots on row 3. Now, last night I picked this up to work on it just a little bit more because, you know, this is my WIPGO goal this month, is to get this section done. And I started doing the baby pink and I realized, and I actually did the entire baby pink, and then I realized, oh wait, that's the same color as right here. And I have 2 in the same section and that's not right. So I pulled it out and decided, you know what, it'll look balanced if I do the dark wine here and I just do it here. So I thought I had finished this in the WIPGO weekend, but last night I decided to change it and I'm adding this color in again. So I don't feel like I misled anyone, even myself, because like I said, I stitched that entire thing in pink and then realized, oops. I guess they're all pink, but I think of that as a wine. So this is what I have done so far. I need to add the sun rays. There's 2 different colors of yellow in all of these. I've got just 1, 2, 3 little rows going down here, and then all of the rays, and that will be completed. And then I probably will put this away until at least spring, or like I said, Stitch Mania, whichever I decide to do. The second, I'm on the wrong page here. The second one is winter notes. Okay, so for winter notes, my goal, I think I said, was to stitch 1 hour every week, and I'd already stitched a couple of hours, or every Wednesday. So my goal for the weekend, I didn't have an hour to work on it on the weekend by the time I saw the post that I could take a picture and show you the start and finish, show them the start and finish. I decided I would just do because my original idea was, and I couldn't figure out how to break it up. Let me show you this here. This is Winter Notes by the Shepherd's Bush. And my original idea was to break it up into sections. So this would be one section, the vine and the snowflakes across. The words here would be a second section. This house would be another. The snowmen, which could even be broken up into 2. And then this bottom portion with the snow and more words. So I had already started, I had this vine done, I had the snowflakes across the top, and I had started a couple of the words that are kind of in that reddish color, I believe is what I had done. And the word snow at the top, maybe, or half of the word snow or something like that. Anyways, my goal for the weekend was to get all of the words done. So I did that and completed that on time, and then I kept going. And so this is what I have so far on my winter notes. I am just loving it. And I messed up a stitch. And I kind of know where it was. I was really struggling with it when I did it. And it's off, up and down just a stitch. And now that I know where it's at, I can compensate for it when I go down and work on the snowman. All I have to do is bring the snowman down 1, and it'll be fine, and everything will line up. So yeah, because to me, it was not worth ripping it all out. Some things are worth ripping it all out. Some things are worth a restart, as we saw. And some, they just aren't. It's not like, yeah, it's just not. And then my last WIP for January, WIPGO, and for the WIPGO weekend was Let It Snow by Stitching with the Housewives in my little Stitching with Housewives bag. And this is the pattern. And I wanted, that was that free space, and I want to get this thing done. I love this one, and I keep putting it away to work on other things that I think I need to work on, and I just want to get this done. So for the weekend, my goal was to add the arms to the snowman. I did that, met that goal, and then I had a finish because I kept going and decided I was going to work on this until it was done. And it is done. So this is my cute little snowman. I changed the red. It's in there because I did not have the ribbon red that it called for. And I think it's just a very sweet, a nice red. It's kind of that deep, it's almost a wine-ish color. I think maybe it's Manor red. I don't know. But there we go. There's a little snowman. Isn't he cute? And you know what I think I want to make? I was planning on finishing this in like a kind of like a shadow box type of a thing. But I think I'm going to make it into a pattern bag because I have so many Stitching with the Housewives patterns to stitch. And I love the winter stuff. We'll see if I do that or not. But I think it would make a really nice project bag. And I can always stitch it again if I want it on my wall or on a shelf or something. So I have some shout outs and a new start. The first shout out I want to give, I want to make sure, see, this is Annie's Quilt Shop and Sewing Center. I have discovered that there are some local stitchers to me. My Flosstube, I haven't posted about on Instagram. This may be the first one I post. We'll see how I feel about it when I'm done and when I'm editing the video. it takes a lot of courage to even push that button to record. And then I'm like, oh, I'm just kind of talking to myself, right, in my room. And then when I'm watching myself back, oh, that's hard to watch myself. It's hard to watch myself. And then to put myself out there. So I just kind of organically let people find me. And the cool thing is that some local people have found me. Hi, you guys. They've reached out to me on Instagram and the messaging and Instagram. And it's like, I can't believe there's people locally around here that are stitchers, because I felt a little bit alone. I have a couple of friends that do stitch. One does more quilting, and she hasn't really cross-stitched much since I got back into cross-stitching. We haven't quite overlapped. And my other friend I shared with you is currently in the hospital in the ICU, and she's been battling COVID. And so she obviously has not been stitching. And I want to give just a little update. She is doing very well. She went all night last night without the ventilator, and she's off of dialysis. And if she continues this way, they're probably going to take the tracheotomy out. Is that what it's called? If she can, I don't know how long she has to go breathing on her own with just supplemental oxygen, but she is making such strides. And so I'm so proud of you. Mandy, I know that when you get out of the hospital and you're feeling better and you're stitching, you will be watching this. I just praise God for miracles and that you are doing so well. Continue to do well, my friend, and we will be stitching together soon. Now that leads me back to local. So this is Annie's Quilt Shop. They're a quilt shop in Shelton, Washington. So I don't think I had been to Annie's Quilt Shop since COVID started, but I had been there several times before. Our Quilt Guild has met there before, and we've taken classes there before. And they have, in the last, probably about 2 years ago or so, they switched their policy to, you have to buy, I think you have to buy a minimum of 1 yard. But it might be you have to buy in 1 yard increments. But I think it's just a minimum of 1 yard, and then anything over a yard you can purchase. And then they offer their fabric at a slight discount to make up for that. And that's so that they don't, you know, if you're just getting a 1/4 yard here and 1/2 yard there, it adds up on their end. And I, you know, it's wonderful fabric. They also have fat quarters just already cut up for you. You can choose from those, and they've got pre-cuts and things like that. However, my husband had to do something for work in Shelton, and it was sometime around Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I dropped him off and I went into Annie's Quilt Shop looking for something for I'm working on the Serendipity quilts, and I needed some more of that background fabric, and I knew they had grunge in the past, which was the line I was looking for. And so I thought it was worth a shot. I could find that, or maybe something close to it. And lo and behold, they have expanded. They have a whole nother section. They've taken over the business or shop that was next to them, and there's, you know, the walls have been taken down inside, so it's one big shop. They've added more sewing machines. I believe they fix sewing machines as well. And they had a little something called Cosmo Floss. It was my first time buying it and using it, and I think I'm pretty sure I shared it in one of my videos. I don't know if I talked about Annie's at all, but that I had bought that Cosmo Floss for another snowflake stitching design, and I want snow so bad. Just a little bit, just a little bit, not to make it unsafe, but just to make everything pretty and white. And so the ground maybe hardens a little bit so the dogs can't dig so much. Girls, oh, them girls. Oh, I digress. What was I talking about? Cosmo Thread. I had bought it for that snowflake pattern, and so I tried out some white and some teal. The price is not, I mean, I don't know if it is comparable. I'll have to look the next time I go, look and compare it to what I can get other places. But I was so excited to find a specialty type of thread, other than, you know, I can find DMC at Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby, but to find a specialty thread, and to try out something like Cosmo. So if you are local to the Olympia area or the Shelton area, they don't have a cross stitch that I saw when I went in. Now that's been over a month since I went in there. But they do have some Cosmo thread and some other threads that you can try out. I think they have some embroidery, and I'm sure because some of their machines do embroidery. Anyways, I wanted to give a shout out to Annie's. And then one of the stitchers that I said reach out to me is Jeanette or Janet and her daughter Heather. My name's Heather too. Good job naming. They're really close to me. They live in the Olympia area. And so it was just kind of, oh my gosh, I've been watching a few of your videos on Flosstube, and I went back and watched from the beginning, and you mentioned where you live, and you were wearing, I think in one of her videos, she had a Cannon Beach or an Oregon shirt. And so I figured they were probably from the Pacific Northwest. But I didn't realize they were so close. And I had already bought a pattern from them. So Heather, the daughter in the group, she has a shop on Etsy. It's called I want to make sure I get it right. White House Stitchery. And on YouTube, they are Crafty Cottage Stitches. Stitches or Stitchers? I will be sure to link this down below. I have my notes here so that I can remember to do that. But on Etsy, it's White House Stitchery. And she came out, I have some other patterns. I don't have them here with me, but I did her Christmas blocks, or I bought her Christmas blocks. I haven't done them yet. Started them, I think, but I haven't done them. But she came out with some love stuff too. So I picked up this pattern. It's My Cup of Tea. And all the hearts that are around here, that's just the cute little overlay that she had. That's not, the pattern doesn't have all of these little hearts in it, but it does have, well, it has some of them. If you look online, you can really see what that is. But isn't that cute? And I thought this would be a sweet thing to make, and to make into a mug rug and give it with a little teacup and some tea to a friend, or start working on some Mother's Day stitching. So I had to pick that up. I love. Heart is my favorite shape. And I'm a sewer as well. Yeah, I went into Annie's quilt shop looking for fabric. And I did come up with some stocking stuffers too, y'all. So just so you know, those were in my stocking. Maybe under the tree. So the other thing she has is So in Love. And oh my gosh, isn't this sweet? And you could totally change the colors of this and to whatever you have in your sewing room or your stitching spot. And instead of maybe even saying, So in Love, it could be Love to Sew. I don't know, that might be hard to fit in there. But the button is like cute as a button co. The thread down here, I mean, it stitches out into a heart. Oh, I love it. And the little scissors, I love anything with little scissors. And then I think she's showing you can split it apart to do smaller stitches. So this is the third one I bought, and this is the one I did start. This is called Cozy Winter Wishes. And oh my goodness, they are quilters and sewers as well. At least the mom of the group is, I know. Look at that quilt. Like, Quilt and Snowman. And the colors, I have it on the back here. DMC, also that 320. I still haven't found it. But it's okay because when I took my dog to the groomer, Michael's is right next door-ish, I got some DMC. 598, which I do have, and I love that color. 503, another, it's a beautiful, it's a green, but it has some blue to it. So I knew I was going to love this. I had several of these colors. I was missing, like I said, 320 I couldn't find, and 163 I couldn't find. And I did find one of my 3865. I stole it from another pattern. What I wanted to do was to get one of the trees in so I could show you something other than just white. Y'all are gonna see what I did. Maybe. Where's that bag? Oh, in my lap. I did it on hazy gray. So you can see I am doing this on hazy gray. I took this out of one of those snowflake patterns because I'm like, I want to work on this now and I know it will work. And I spent way too much time trying to find the fabric for this and the fabric for another thing. And so here we go. This is what I have so far. I've got the border around the top section done. I've got a couple of the little snowflakes added. It may be really cute to add beads, but I didn't want to make it more complicated. And then I got this part done to the point where I could add in the 503 that is called for. I did the tree. Actually, I did the tree and then I came over here to the quilt and realized I had pulled the wrong color. This is not 320. No, that's 503. It's still pretty. It still works. I could change out all of the greens. I could take it out. I'll probably take it out and redo it. I still couldn't find DMC 163. So if you know an equivalent to DMC 163 that will work, let me know, because my local Michael's was completely sold out. But I don't think it's used until further on in the pattern. So between now and when I get to that point, hopefully I will find some of that thread. I only saw it in one little place where just like one length of thread would be more than enough to complete it. But that doesn't mean it's not in other places. The great thing about this PDF is that I have it on my laptop as well as my iPad. So I can open it up and zoom in on different sections and see them better. And my eyes are not the best. So that does help greatly. All right. So that, I guess, would be part of Happy Meal download. Okay, so my next bit of Happy Mail is from a local shop, I guess. I don't know that she has an actual shop, but it's Fiona's Craft Cottage. You can find her on Etsy. And she posted a picture of her start on Winter Rose Manor. This was going to be my Christmas Day start, if you remember from my previous video. And I got the fabric and I had ordered the wrong size. And it was that little piece that I showed you the hope on, that I stitched my hope piece on, and it just was not big enough. It was Queen Anne's lace. It was beautiful. It was the right, I thought it was pretty much the right color. But it was just, it was too small. It wasn't going to work. Well, Fiona posted a picture on her Instagram feed that she had started it. And I asked her if she would make a custom piece for me, or, you know, just dye that same fabric again for me. And so I ordered that from her. It's a 32 count. She calls it hot chocolate. It's just I love this. This is a wonderful color. It's kind of a brownish taupish. It's got some pink and red to it. No, that's not the right color at all. It's this is closer. It's just a beautiful color. I have been so pleased with her. Somebody else asked me, well, let me know what you think. This is my second order from her, and she does a beautiful job, and she's not quite as backlogged, I don't think, as some of the other companies out there that are really behind, because, you know, it's just the year and the season that we're in. So I ordered it, and within a week I had it. So this is, I think I said it was 32 count, but there we go. Hot chocolate. Hot chocolate. Isn't that a yummy color? So now I've got the fabric, and I may change my mind on the fabric. I don't know. But that was from Fiona. And then she was having this, oh, look, there's a card. Oh, that's where you can find her on Etsy. Put that in my notes. It'll make it easier for me to leave it for you guys. So she was having a sale, and I decided, you know, what is it that Steph says? A piece of fabric can't travel alone, or a chart can't travel alone. Well, apparently mine can't either, even if it's just going 45 miles. So she had this, and every time I saw it, I thought, I know I can stitch something on it. It's called Cappuccino Froth. It's a 14 count Aida, and it does remind me a lot of that Queen Anne's lace, but it's in a 14 count Aida. And so this will be perfect for something. If you don't, if I have a pattern that's, that doesn't have any it doesn't have any quarter stitches or 3/4 stitches, and especially if that's the case and it has like a lot of space in between where you have to count, Aida's easier because it's just one square you're counting. It is much more difficult though to get some of the half stitches are okay. It's the quarter stitches or 3/4 stitches or some of those back stitches where it's kind of half here, half there. Whew. Anyway, so this will definitely be used. That's Cappuccino Froth, 14 count Aida. I think I said that. And then I haven't even opened these yet. She packaged them in cute little boxes. Like, she didn't have to do that. But it's like getting a present. And I'm the one who ordered it, and I'm all happy about it. It doesn't take much. Oh, I love it. So it's a zipper pull, or I'm going to put it on my zipper pull, or you could do it on a scissor, like a scissor fob type thing. It says create. Hold still. Create, and then this little one says made with love, and that's just a little heart. You know, I told you I love hearts. There we go. I love it. Thank you, Fiona. I hope that's your name. Okay, so the second box that I got from Fiona, I mean, maybe it's a girl thing to appreciate little pretty packaging, but I just love it. Oh, this is so cute. Ah. So I've been eyeballing these in her shop for a while, and I'm like, it's on sale, Heather. Get it. Just get it. And so this is little scissors. You've got they're both little, but you got the big one, and then you got the little tiny one, and then the made with love. So again, this can go on my zipper, a zipper pull, or I could put it on a thread keep or whatever, scissor fob. Super, super cute. So yes, I am happy with her shop. I think it was Paula that was asking. Somebody was asking me. And I'm happy with their shipping and their packaging. And yeah. And I think it's just one person. I say they, but I'm pretty sure it's just a one woman show there. Making sure that's all the happy mail from her, and it is. And then I told you I went on Fat Quarter Shop, and I don't know why, because I never do this, but I clicked on what's new. And perhaps because it was a new month, the new year, I thought maybe and I hadn't been on in a while, so I thought, well, I just want to see what's been released since the last time I visited Fat Quarter Shop, because they took a couple of weeks where they weren't really doing any floss tubes. And I told you I saw all the love stuff. Well, I went on there, and there was 2 or 3 things in the love category. I'll be showing you. I got them. And then there was a third thing that was a pattern, and I clicked on it, but then it was like it wasn't loaded yet, so it's like it wasn't available, and I was like, So I just kept refreshing and refreshing and refreshing and adding to cart until all of them were, because I figured I'd probably be okay, I wouldn't miss out on them. And I placed a huge order. So thank you for my in-laws who sent me money for Christmas. I had fun. I didn't spend all of it yet, but you know. But while I was there, I also picked up, because this had come in stock. That's probably what led me there. I think this item came back in stock, or some of the items that had been on back order came in stock. And so I picked up 2 different packages of this Cosmo, and I was just talking about the Cosmo Thread. This is the Cosmo Ada fabric, and it comes with an alphabet on the back. It's kind of nice. And just like the Cosmo Thread has like this little bit of a sheen to it. And I don't think the names, I don't think it has a name. I'll have to look into that. And let me know if you care to have me tell you. I just picked a thread off there and there's fuzz. But this is one of them. I'll tell you, the lighting, when the sun goes behind the clouds and then in front of the clouds, and it moved from over there to over there. And then this is the second one. This is more of a ivory, and this is just a little bit darker. That's very good right there. And so I joined their Cottage of the Month. Is it Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage Needleworks that put out that sampler of the month? I joined the club, but the color that they have, that beige, is too dark of a beige for me for January, because when January comes along, I want things to be brighter and lighter, because this is the first sunny day we've had in 2 weeks. I mean, we had a couple of hours of sunshine in between the storms, but this is like, it has not rained yet today. So it makes it kind of dark and dreary around here. And so I want lots of light. I'm trying to decide what order to show you this in, you guys. So there's 2 bags. I have decided one of the things I need to work on soon is making more project bags, because I've got more projects than I have bags. I just haven't had a lot of time to be in the sewing room. It's a lot easier for me to cross stitch than to sew, because sewing, my room is too small to fit the puppies in. I can't do it around them. I can't just leave the puppies. I mean, they're a year old now, but they're toddlers is what I should call them. You just can't leave a toddler alone. If it's quiet, something's wrong. If it's noisy, something's wrong. So anyway, so I ordered these 2 bags, and they are huge. So this one is the Dotty Bag. It's lighter than it's showing up here. It's showing up pretty dark. But, you know, aqua. Mint. I had to get it. It's by Lori Holt, and it's called the Big Dotty Project Bag. I saw in the last Flosstube video that Fat Corner Shop put out, Kimberly opened it up and showed you how you can fit things inside. So, I've been using this to carry my projects back and forth and down here to share with you. This will be something that I can do a week at a time and just put all my whips in here as I use them, pull them in and out in my new starts. So it's a huge bag, but I think it'll be good for me to keep my weekly stuff in. And then this, oh my goodness, I love it. And these bags, you can stitch on them because it's a mesh. So I could see Creative Blessings being stitched on there, Create Forever, or whatever Kimberly comes up with, because she's going to show us something and I'll probably want to do it. But it's just my type mesh project bag. So there's that. I mean, it was sitting like it's bigger than I am. Oh, of course I am short. So earlier I was talking about the Hello from Liz Mathews and wanting to use some thread I had got. Well, this is Stitches from the Heart MPI thread pack. There's a pattern. I got the pattern. If it's in here, I got it in here. There's some patterns I got. Oh, actually, hold. I ordered the patterns and the downloads. So Stitches from the Heart. Here we go. And there's already been a video now on how to finish this into a pillow. I don't know that that's what I'll be doing, but I might. That's stinking cute with a rickrack in there. But it had an NPI, NPI needlepoint ink silk pack, which I got to go along with it. And because I love the colors, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, I didn't get the DMC. Did I get the DMC? I did not get the DMC. I think I had the DMC colors, or some of them. So that was the first thing. And then, that wasn't the first thing I got though, because I'm pretty sure the first thing, you guys, I cannot wait to stitch this. Is it silly to be that excited? Don't answer that. This is just my type. I mean, you've got the typewriter, you've got the hearts, you've got the aqua, the mint, the pink, the little birdies. You've got a stinking card. I mean, I don't know if you've seen this up here, but these are cards I have made. And then on the other side, you can't see it, but these are cards that people have sent me up on my wall here. So, yeah. And this little quilt was made by a friend of mine in the Quilt Guild. And so she made little envelopes. We did a swap, and she knew how much I loved card making, and so she made me an envelope quilt. So this, yeah. Yes, please. And it's going up in this room for sure, for sure. So then I had to get the thread pack because I love those colors. And, you know, there's the 3865. I knew it was coming. 163 is not in there, though. That's the one I need for... I'll be able to get it. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry one little bit. But they also offered the color and cotton. And yes, please, I am in love with color and cotton. I'm still new to it, but this is Bing Cherry, Barn Red, Taffy, Seafoam, Mermaid's Folly, Oceana, Chimney Sweep, and Tusk. I'll show you that. Pretty sure I'll be ordering another of these packs before they sell out, just because I love those colors. That Bing Cherry is a great red. That would go great with all of the Christmas stuff I still have to do. And then, that's not all, you guys. I'm almost done. I swear. My husband's on his way. I just split the video because he called and it turned my video off. But we've got a fence to finish repairing. Floss Bitties. Oh my goodness, they came out with new Floss Bitties, you guys. I'll take them out because I haven't really seen anybody else show them. Although I'm sure Kimberly did or will on her thing. But you have this sweet little bird, which reminds me of the bird from their home stitch along they did. You've got the double hearts. Red and pink. Love this. Whoever designed this, I love this. I mean, come on, focus. Focus. Get in the glare. Sorry, you guys. Just my type, and a little tiny heart on there. Oh, 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 oh. And then a love stamp. Stinking cute. Love it. And the Stitch Quarterly, when you get Stitch Quarterly from Fat Quarter Shop, they then send you out a code to use for that month. And it's usually, or my experience has been, it's been a coupon for something that was in the Stitch Quarterly. And they had the Floss Bitties, the Santa Baby Floss Bitty. I don't know if that's what it's called, but any Floss Bitty you could get on sale with that code. So I loved it so much. I knew I would. I got to. Don't tell anybody else I'm that crazy, but I love them. I love them. Okay, and the last two things. One is another zipper pull with the love. That is definitely going on my heart bag for sure. And then a love needle minder. I love it. I cannot wait to get stitching on this, you guys. So, oh, and then the last thing, this is another download, and I didn't even read what this was about, and I added it to my cart because this looks to me like a quilt. So it combines my two loves. So whenever I stitch a quilting thing, it might go in here, but it's more likely to go into my little sewing room or my sewing nook. But it also has this bonus pattern that says Stronger Together. And I just love that. And then I clicked on it to see what colors it used to see if I was going to get the thread pack. And the thread pack is only in DMC. I already had decided my winter solstice box from Bestitch Me has several different blues I could use here. So I wasn't going to use the blue. And I think instead of just a straight black, I will probably use like Classic Colorworks Blackboard or one of my weeks, kind of a variegated black instead of just solid. And this, depending on what color fabric I use, instead of doing just straight green, that'll be an aqua, a mint, or a teal, also depending on what color I use here. So I had already decided to change those 3 colors. So I'm like, yeah, I don't need to get it for just the pink. I mean, white is white and black is black, and you can continue to use those colors. The black is 310 DMC, but I didn't. And then I printed it out and I was reading, well, before I bought it, so it says Stronger Together, celebrating Black History Month. Pattern includes, oh, I don't need that. Biography. It must have been on their website. They are donating, I don't remember how much, but they're donating some of the proceeds to the, oh my goodness. I really need to do my research on this, but they're making a donation. I think it's to the United Negro College Fund. I'm not sure about that, but included in the kit was this story. So they're going to be celebrating Black History Month all month long. That's February's Black History Month. And this story was amazing. So I don't know if you want me to read it or skip over it. Because sometimes I don't know that I'm the best to read a story. But I'm going to read it and then I'll just go ahead and sign off. So, and this is her picture, which to me is incredible to have a picture from a photograph of Elizabeth Keckley, circa 1861. Photo credit Moreland Spingarn Research Center, Howard University. Unidentified photographer, public domain. So, Elizabeth, born into slavery in 1818, Elizabeth Hobbs Keckley learned to sew from her mother, and it was this skill that eventually brought her freedom and success. Keckley became an accomplished seamstress and used the income from dressmaking to purchase her freedom and that of her son in 1855. In 1860, she moved to Washington, D.C., where her elegant dress designs made her popular with prominent politicians' wives. Keckley built a large business employing 25 seamstresses and generating considerable profit according to 1865 tax records. After a chance introduction to Mary Todd Lincoln, Keckley became a stylist, confidant, and traveling companion to the First Lady. Her close relationship with Mrs. Lincoln gave her a unique perspective on the inner workings of the Lincolns, which she wrote about later in her autobiography. You better believe I'm going to read this autobiography. I love biographies and autobiographies. It's called Behind the Scenes, or 30 Years a Slave and 4 Years in the White House. And 4 years in the White House, 1865. Sorry. In 1862, with support from Mary Lincoln and the abolitionist Frederick Douglass, Keckley founded the Contraband Relief Association to provide food, clothing, and shelter to emancipated slaves. Sorry. After the publication of her book, she continued to train other women in dressmaking until 1892, when she joined the faculty at Ohio's Wilberforce University as head of the Department of Sewing and Domestic Service. She later returned to Washington, D.C., where she died in 1907. One of the dresses Keckley made for Mrs. Lincoln is housed in the Smithsonian National Museum of American History. And then it lists all the sources. That is so cool. I had not read the whole thing. I'd only read this little part and decided to read it. Oh, that is so cool. What an amazing story. So I would have bought it anyways because I love the pattern, but I'm so glad I bought it because of the story. So even if you don't like the pattern, I mean, how could you not like it? I definitely recommend getting this. Yeah. I'm so impressed. Thank you, Fat Quarter Shop. And thank you for the little lesson in history for me today. Elizabeth Hobbs Keckley was from 1818 to 1907. I don't think I mentioned that. So that's Stronger Together. That's another one I want to start. As if I didn't have enough to start already. Oh, it gets me choked up. I'm pretty sure that there'll be a stitch along or there'll be something to do with this in February because that is Black History Month, but I'll be ready ahead of time. I'm going to pull the fabric for the, I already have the fabric. I'm pretty sure if I haven't put it in another kit, I know what I want to use. And then put aside the threads for this. So that, my friends, is all. It got longer than I meant for it to be, and because I got interrupted in the middle, I'm gonna have to try and splice them together again, so I hope I can get this video up. And so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. I hope you guys have a wonderful stitching week. Whatever you're stitching in, stitch with some hope and hopefully some joy. And let's see what this next week brings us. Hopefully good things, and hopefully no more wind and fences falling down. See you guys later. Bye.